Hey you, welcome back to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. My name is Satchmo. This is episode 34. I was wrong yesterday when I said... Wait. This is episode 33. I was wrong yesterday when I said it was episode 31. It was episode 32. This one is episode 33. Try to keep up. We are still working on our Spaceplane. And I have a couple of new ideas. So the new idea, this is going to be version 6. Let's just get rid of a lot of this stuff real quick. The new idea is to entirely scrap it, isn't it? It actually almost is. I'm not gonna lie. These are going to be the atmosphere engines, which I think I'm going to be using the whiplashes. So let's go ahead and put the whiplashes on there. And let's also get rid of that. Well, that can stay. That's fine. And we're going to get... These are all rocket fuel. We're going to get rid of these rocket fuel engines. And instead... Or, not rocket fuel engines, but you get the fuselages. Let's put a couple of those on there. Let's put 3 of the long ones. So this is all going to be the liquid fuel for the liquid fuel engines. And then on the side, I'm going to attach fuel. Rocket fuel. Directly to the side. And... I'm just trying to keep it even. Let's see. Actually, out of curiosity, how does it look if I do these rocket fuel fuselages just kind of attached to the side? Let's do the snap to grid business. No, it looks stupid. So get rid of that. Okay, well I was just curious. This looks marginally less stupid. We're going to attach these to the side. And I think what I'm going to do is we need a lot more we need a lot more rocket fuel. That's what I learned yesterday in yesterday's episode, is that we need more rocket fuel. For sure. So let's put those on. Do we have any... Isn't there a better one? A shock cone intake? And there's like a ramjet intake as well, isn't there? I think there is. Here we go. A ramp intake. Intake area... 0.74 square meters at 10 meters a second. And let's look at one of these. 0.6 at 15. This one's going to be 0.75 at 5. So this one actually might be the best one. Let's put those on instead. Okay. And then we'll put the rocket engines on the rocket fuel fuselages. Which for the rocket engines, I think we're going to use... Let's go back to using the vectors, although I don't know that's the best idea. I'm going to use them anyway. Okay, and then let's take this whole thing and line it up more properly. So, I mean, it's similar to what I was doing yesterday, but with a couple of differences. Instead of having different types of fuel in the main fuselage here, we're adding a lot more fuel by putting these rocket fuel pieces on the side here. So, and of course the engines are going to have their own thing. And then of course we'll just put everything kind of back the way it was. We'll use the delta wing, I think is what I was using. This looks like a relatively small wing area now that I'm looking at it though. What else can we use? I'm not good at the structural wing types, unfortunately. I'm not good at piecing together the different pieces. Something I can do is this. To add a little bit of extra wing. Not like that. What? No, go attach to the edge, not to the... it's attaching to a weird part. perhaps I could do this. Let me see real quick. There we go. There, and then maybe I could attach this to that. And that makes more sense. Yes, that makes a lot more sense. A small gap here that I hate, so I'm gonna have to change it. Let me see if I can zoom in on it a little bit better. Move, and we'll just move it in one click until it hides, and then we can also move this in. And perhaps not. I still see it. It offends me. Let's see if I can. There we go. That's the best I can do. Okay. Okay, that might be enough lift area. And also we're going to need rudders, which another part of the design here is that I'm going to be using 2 rudders instead of 1. And I'm just going to be putting them here. Something like that. And I'm going to make sure that is limited to the yaw. And this should still be limited to pitch, and it is. And then I'm going to use different elevons here in the back, which again I can never get right. There we go. I don't really see the reason of using those as opposed to the big elevons. How big are the big elevons? Well, that's probably too big. But it is kind of cool, so I'm probably going to use it anyway. Does this merge to that? No, that's even bigger. Which size connects to this the most appropriately? That looks okay. And then these are going to be, we're going to use, I used to only do these for roll, but I think I'm just going to disable yaw. And we're going to use them both for pitch and for roll. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. So yeah, intake air, and then we get our engines, which also provide a little bit of intake air themselves, I'm pretty sure. All this is liquid fuel. This is all rocket fuel. That should be plenty enough to get me into space. We're going to separate these 2 stages out. The liquid fuel first. And then everything else looks... Oh yeah, we didn't check our aerodynamics, but lucky me, it actually looks pretty good. Move a little further back. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna move it pretty far back. And then also, let's go ahead and put on our... There we go. Our landing gear. That's fine for now, at least. Yeah, fine for now. V6. This I think should be a lot closer to something flyable, right? So the changes that we've made here are predominantly changes to the fuel. So we're doing a lot more of the rocket fuel because it seems like getting this thing up to where I need the rocket fuel was okay, but actually getting it in orbital, from that point on was hard. So we're going to put these rockets on the side here, and that's going to help out pretty significantly. We're looking at more wing area, more control surfaces, and a little bit better, because of the weight distribution, a little bit better kind of aerodynamics as well. So let's just see how this flies. Alright, oh, and then also the other change is that we have the 2 rudders here as well, which should help pretty significantly. So let's see what happens. Hopefully everything doesn't swirl all over the runway again like it did yesterday. I don't think it will. These wheels may be a little far back, because I think the center of mass is kind of over here. And the closer the wheels are to the center of mass, the easier it is to take off, the easier it is to pitch up off the runway. So we'll see. But to compensate for that, I did change the... Yeah, it's having a hard time getting up because these wheels are too far behind the center of mass. But it is able to actually pitch up and get up there. Okay. And she's flying very stable. stably. Flying really stably. However, flying significantly slower than yesterday too. Way slower than yesterday. So, yeah, pretty significant amount of mass. It's using some liquid fuel from these engines when it shouldn't be. I can fix that later though, that's not a problem. This whole thing could probably be one section shorter. If I were to put this cockpit area here, I could probably do that. I might have to kick the wings back a little further. But that might work. I'm not going to be able to get up to the high part of the atmosphere like this though. However, I do want to kind of fly it just a little bit and see what I think of it. Pretty good. The yaw is not the best, but it's okay. Let's try to flip this thing around and see if I can do a backflip. Nope, I'm gonna stop it. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and kind of hammer it over. Making sure to kind of regain authority over the plane. Yeah, so with the added weight, I think these engines just aren't going to cut it. There's just these two engines here. It's just not enough to do what I want with it. So, good to know. Another thing I could do too is, in addition to reducing the liquid fuel here, is I could also maybe take off a little bit of this fuel. It's kind of hard to say. I don't know. Let's just see. Since we're all here, let's just go ahead where our landing is down. See if oh, you know what, something else I can do too, if I like the way this flies, is literally just take the fuel out of these and make them empty fuselages. That's an option too. Just see if I can glide my way back to base, and just to see how is the landing going to go. A little bit of a squirrely approach. I might have to, no, it's gonna be okay. It didn't seem like anything, it didn't seem like anything exploded, and then everything exploded. Okay. Neat. Alright, so anyway. Engines are not quite enough for all of this mass. First thing I want to do is just take off some of that and just see if the thing flies a little bit better. Yeah, still okay. V6. This is now V7. Save and launch. This thing should actually be a little bit more maneuverable as well. Oh, I should have moved the landing gear up forward a little bit so I can pivot a little bit easier with that center of mass. Something else you can do, I'm just going to do real quick, is I can take these and I can disable them. Although all you really need to do is disable the liquid fuel. This will ensure that none of the fuel gets used from these engines. So anyway, TZ space, and we'll see if she flies a little bit faster. Of course, as she flies as well, that's reducing the weight of the craft, and she should pick up speed a little bit easier. Start kind of lifting a little bit, not done yet. That's pretty well. How about that? There we go. Very pretty. Yeah, this is flying well already. These last two iterations are definitely better, and it's a pretty craft as well, I think. Those elevons, these giant elevons here, the roll is pretty intense. You could almost limit the roll authority a little bit. It's almost too much. Okay, yeah, picking up speed a lot faster here. Let's see what kind of altitude we can get. Let's just see what kind of altitude we can get. Perhaps flying through the center part of the atmosphere will actually speed the craft up a little bit too, with some of the reduced drag. I'll be a little bit aggressive with my climb here in the beginning. Something else too, let me see. thrust is going down. I think that's because my speed is going down. Fuel flow. Okay. I want to say it's tied in some way to your air intake. So of course, the slower you're going, the less air you're able to intake. So I think that those two numbers are connected in that way, but it's perhaps a little unclear right now from the side. I'll pitch down a little bit so I can start gaining some speed. And also with the time warp. This craft is stable enough for that. And there should be a little bit of a feedback loop where the faster I go, the better she handles and the higher I'm able to go, and so on and so forth. Still, yeah, still relatively slow though. Doesn't seem to be too squirrely or anything though as I start to do some maneuvers. Seems to be okay. Also, I'm at about 20 degrees and I'm holding steady at 175. In fact, I'm gaining speed now. I think both as a function of the craft getting lighter and me being in a slightly thinner part of the atmosphere. However, it does right now appear to just be holding steady at 175.3 meters a second. That time warp, that speed starts to increase. So I'm hoping this kind of positive feedback loop that I'm getting here is going to help me get to a higher part of the atmosphere. At this point, I'm kind of just stress testing it. I'm kind of curious just how exactly she handles and kind of what top speed I'm able to achieve and how high I'm able to go. And that will inform the next design decision I make. But right now, I'm pretty happy with the design, save for the fact that I'm not like going 800 meters a second right now. Which for a space plane is important. It's important to go 800 meters a second. So right now I am going to kind of be boring and just see what happens here. I am just getting faster and faster and faster, and as I'm getting faster and faster, I'm going higher and higher. So right now, this is actually going really well. I am starting to slow down. My acceleration is slowing down. However, I am gaining altitude. And the other thing to consider here is that heading and my prograde marker are getting a little far away from each other. So I'm back down. However, at this particular heading right now, you see the prograde marker is actually dipping below the horizon, so I'm actually falling back down to the ground, even though my speed is increasing. I'll go a little lower. See if I can pick that prograde marker up a little bit as I start going faster. I don't mind losing a little bit of altitude right now to see if I can do that. I think right now it's important that I just go as fast as I can. So with that, let's just go ahead. Nope, no. Time warp has induced the type of flat spin maneuver. I think I'm going to be an okay enough pilot to correct this. Just turn it over. Huh. Interesting. Pretty sure this shouldn't actually happen. So yeah, this is not going to be the craft that's going to do it for me. I'm still way too low in the atmosphere to really be considering this thing as a space plane. What are my other options? Let's see. What is the max thrust of these engines? That's one thing to consider. Is just putting better engines on there. So let's see. The Panther here has 107 kilonewtons of thrust. The Whiplash, come on, get over there. What did I say? 100? Okay, 386. Which one was I checking? Let's compare max thrust. Yeah, 107. This is 386. Where is my other jet engine? 20 for the Juno, so that's not a contender. Yeah, the Rapiers are intense. Here we are. 153. Liquid fuel oxidizer. So these are the strongest ones. I want to say it's 120 for that. Okay, so these are the strongest ones, except for the turbofan here, but if you've seen these yet, they're massive. They're too big for this. Okay, so if that's the case, what else? Let's take off some of this mass. And let's put the medium gears on. And put the center of mass up there too, because I'm curious where I should put these. There we go, a little closer to the center of mass. In fact, if it's right there, maybe even better. Okay. And then only need one of these, of course. Let's rotate that around, flip it around. Okay. That's fine. And in fact, the altitude, the height difference between these two is actually going to help me take off. Although it's making it more difficult to land as well, so I am going to tuck this up just a hair. There. That might help. Okay, so that will reduce some of the mass of the craft. Likewise, I might not need all of these lift. I don't need this much lift, perhaps. I'll just stick that there for now. Go away. Why? Oh, because it's facing. Okay, well, unfortunately now I have to redo it. Let's put the center of lift back on here, and put the... Oh, that's the big delta wing. I don't think I want the big delta wing. I think I just want the regular delta wing. I don't really know how much... I am going to need more than this, aren't I? Suspicious. Out of curiosity, how much does the big delta wing? 5 tons, 0.5 tons, 0.2... This may be, yeah, this is probably too much. I'm just going to put it on there just to look at it. Huh. Unclear. It might be okay, it might not. In the meantime, I am going to put this back on. And the center of lift seems really far forward. Whereas it didn't seem that way. I guess this thing here adds a lot to that. More than I would have expected. What if, put that there, and then does that help in any way? It does move it back a little bit. The center of mass, the center of lift, I mean. Nope, that puts it back towards the rear. However, the landing gear is now going to move it forward again. Oops, click move. One day I'll get this right. There we go. Okay. For now, that's okay. Center of mass, the center of lift is okay with regards to the center of mass. I can move this back a hair to help with that. There we go. I don't have elevons on the rear, so let's do that. Okay, and these are going to be just not y'all. Okay, I should have checked the dry mass before I did this, but I didn't. I'm going to take out... I'm going to make that just a coupler. In fact, I'm just going to make it liquid fuel, not oxidizer. And that'll help reduce the mass a little bit more. Okay, well, let's just see what these changes have made. I think they're logical changes, right? Reducing the mass. I think I made a little bit less wingspan here, or a little less wing weight. Move this back a little bit. Use the smaller gears. Several changes. We'll see. Really need to go faster. And it's funny because I'm using the strongest engines I have. I wonder if I'm not getting enough airflow? If I'm not getting enough air to the engines? Again, unclear. Let's just see what happens. This does appear to be faster takeoff already. And appear to be veering a little bit. The wheels are closer to the... Okay, the wheels are closer to the front, or to the center of mass, so I should be able to kind of lift off a little faster. And I was able to. Okay. Yep, still a little squirrely. Yeah, still a little squirrely. Let's deactivate the liquid fuel coming out of these guys. Likewise, I want to move the center of mass forward a little bit, so I'm going to lock liquid fuel on the back end as well. To only use the liquid fuel that's in the rear of the plane first. Yeah, it doesn't fly particularly well right now, and I'm wondering why. Do you have anything off center? Why are you wanting to turn that way? Oh, I don't think it's a air intake problem. Because I'm getting a lot of air intake. I have these two units right here, and I have these two right here, and I think these provide air too, right? What did we say? I don't think it does. I think those are just vents. Okay, let's try something like that. Let's see. Yeah, why? Well, it's really funny. Might have something to do with the shape of these wings, why it's flying so funny. I have to just kind of put these on haphazardly just to see what happens. It's an interesting shape. I don't know if I like it, but it's an interesting shape. There we go. Give me something stable. Alright, and let's see. I don't really want speed warp. Time warp. It appears to be holding this heading pretty well, so that's good. Of course, we haven't even got to the point yet where we're talking about where we've got these we've turned those into, but that's going to be much higher into space. And I am slowing down, so let me just go down a little more again with my speed. I want to go under 200. That's good for me. Now a couple more degrees. Okay, now I'm picking up speed. Again, it should be one of those positive feedback things where the faster I go, the faster I go. And also the faster I go faster. So yeah, picking up speed, gaining altitude, I mean, ostensibly doing okay. The thing still wants to lift a little bit to the left. Exactly where it is, since my prograde is above the horizon, and I am picking up speed, and it seems to be holding time warp okay. Nope, until I go more above, until I go times 3 or 4. It seems to want to tilt like exclusively left, and I'm wondering why left. That has been weird to me. Getting out of that first layer of kind of thick atmosphere, and we're slowing right down again. What to do here? What to do? What is this? I'm looking at this. The Lafayette Mark 1 debris. Ah, something like that. Let's see. If I warp faster, it's going to flip out. I handled that okay. That doesn't have 4 times. That's only 4 times. If my center of lift were further behind my center of mass, it would fly more steady. So that seems to be a constant problem with center mass. It's just too far back. Something you can do, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? You can just add stuff to the front of the plane, add weight, whether it be scientific material and fuel, or you have this big fat head, whatever it is, you can add stuff to the front of the plane to help with that. Yeah, the current gauge is not fine. Take a little steady. Let's fire the rockets. It's out of curiosity. Oh. Just out of curiosity, right? Let's see what happens. Let's see how high I wind up getting. Apoapsis there is 74,000. I don't think it's orbital. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into orbit with the remaining fuel that I have. But I was just curious. Let's go ahead and kill that. Go to this view. Because this is far too shallow a trajectory. I'm sorry, wrong button. This button. And I don't think I have. 11 seconds. I'd be pretty shocked if this works. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It recalculated and realized that I don't have the Delta V in space. That is the remaining amount of Delta V that I have. Yeah, because then I run out of oxidizer and stuff. And the rest of this is just liquid fuel. I'm a little bit at a loss. How do people make these? And they make them so well, too. I just don't see how, I mean, I guess just 2 engines isn't enough. What else? Let's see. I'll do one more thing before I hang it up for the night. This will have, I guess this episode will have a part 3. Let's take those off. Let's put the big ones on. Let's put the big ones on real quick. Okay. Just put them anywhere. Any old where is fine. And then let's go back to what I was doing, which is kind of this number, where I do the fuel fuselage. Just put those down at the end, I guess. I don't see any reason why not. And then we'll take those and put those on there, and then we'll take the air intake here. Put those on there too. So just put extra. Just extra engines. Okay. And I'll just move these down. That's fine. That's fine, just for now at least. I know it's clipping through the thing and all that looks kind of silly. But for now, let's just see what more wings and more engines do. Oops, wrong part. Yeah. Let's see if I can remember this one. Is it... Nope. Yes. There we go. Let's check our stuff. Something like that. And then these can go there. Nope, definitely not. That's fine, I can rotate them. Alright, and there. Yeah, that's okay. Those and those go off at the same, then those go next. Okay, well, let's just see what happens if we have just more engines, you know. Let's just see. Let's go ahead and lock these here as well. And I'll unlock them some other time. Version 9. Save. And fine for now. Oops. Elevons. Just put these plain ones on the back here. There we go. And that's just going to be fine for now. I'll just leave those alone. Launch. Oops, I didn't save it. It's okay. So more engines, more wing. Providing more lift as well. Perhaps lift is a problem. That could very well explain why my prograde locker and my heading, this guy right here, we're so far off. Perhaps with a little bit extra lift, that would be such a problem. Again, oops, just pick it up. Press the yaw button, and it really worked. So. Don't have too many authority now, and I am going faster, and significantly faster. Obviously, however, I'm having a hard time getting back to 90 degrees. I'm still having that problem where the thing wants to go left. I'm going to start rolling right. I'm going to start rolling clockwise and see if that kind of just helps balance that out a bit. But yeah, this thing keeps wanting to go, look at my mouse, it keeps wanting to kind of go over this direction. Yeah, look, fly straight if I tilt to the right. I wonder why that is. Everything seems to be in line. I can't think of a reason why that would be the case. I can't think of a reason why this would fly true, but not fly. It does appear that doubling your engines is helpful at the very least. That's probably how big this stuff goes. Let's go more aggressive. This very well may be the one I'm going this fast, this low in the atmosphere. That's very well. I don't need rather altitude than speed at this point. But I'm still gaining speed when I'm going 45 degrees, or, almost 40 degrees. My apparatus is at 35k. And I think I'm about to hit flame out. If I hit flame out, I'm going to start leveling out. I'm going to start leveling out now. Go ahead and fire up the rocket and see what happens. And we'll go up to about 75 kilorockets. Going pretty fast, so it should take less delta V to get into orbit from here. However, again, I don't have a whole ton of delta V once I actually get into space, based on how much I have to use to actually get that high up. Let's just see. Let's let it get up there and see what happens. I mean, definitely the most successful craft so far. And let's see how much delta V we actually have in space. I'm expecting a big red bar. Yes, big red bar. So, and the fact that these are off doesn't matter because it's pulling liquid fuel from other places. When I turn them on, yeah, it doesn't really add because I'm just getting liquid fuel from here mixing with the oxidizer from here. So, if that's the case, maybe I don't think I need as much liquid fuel as I brought. I am going to do one more. I don't want this episode to go too long. But there's two things I want to do. Is one a piloting fix, and one is an aircraft fix. Let's take this off and put this on. There we go. Skyreach V10. Save. Man, I wish I knew why the yaw was wrong on this, but I don't know why it keeps wanting to veer left. The piloting thing is this. I want to fly a little bit more shallow so that when I get to the point where the engines burn out, I can continue to try to go faster. And I can go ahead and turn these back on while I'm thinking about it, because I'm not going to run out of liquid fuel. I'm not going to be stealing liquid fuel from these engines. It's just not going to happen that fast. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start picking up. So, because of course to be orbital you need to be going fast, and my altitude can be made up with these engines. However, I don't want to be doing the bulk of my accelerating with those engines. I would rather be doing those with the atmospheric engines. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go as fast as I can in the atmosphere, and essentially just use these rockets, the rocket engines, to push me out of the atmosphere, and then go the rest of the, and then give me the rest of the speed that I need, but not the bulk of the speed. I think the bulk of the speed can be done in atmosphere. So once I get up to a point where these start having a hard time keeping up, I'm not getting the prop requirement, I'm going to level out and try to just fly as fast as I can before I pitch up and then try to go the rest of the way with the rockets. That is the idea. So let's look at it over here. I'm going to keep it over here. Let's see if this prop requirement, let's see if I can see that change at some point, and to where I'm not getting as much air as I need to be. And that's just going to happen at some point up here. Still able to go pretty high, 16K. Apoapsis of almost 30. It's pretty high, and I'm going almost 1,000 meters a second. A kilometer a second is pretty quick. However, here we are. Thrust is starting to decrease. So I'm going to bring that down. And we're just going to hold prograde. Air combustion failed. So, yeah, so thrust was decreasing too much. I'm going to skip back down to the atmosphere. And do exactly like I said. I'm going to see if I can go a little faster once these engines kick back on. There we go. I'm keeping an eye on this thrust over here, though. I don't want to flare up too hard and lose control of the craft. But of course, the faster I go, the pick it up now. Come on, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. The faster I go, the more thrust I'll have, and the more control I'll be able to have with the craft. Goodness. Yeah, well now I'm just too off that prograde vector to really do too much. Look at those G-forces these guys are enduring. Inhuman. I mean, of course. Oh, I'll tell you why. Because I have the prograde thing here. He's fighting me. That's why. I was wondering why he was handling this one. Let me turn that off. Oh, look at that. And it fixes it. Yeah. See how good a pilot I am, Jeb? That's funny. I had this prograde thing going. That's why he was doing it. Because he was fighting me the whole time. Jeb. Oh yeah, he's getting this kind of harmonic thing going on whenever when you tell him to hold. So sometimes the stability assist is just not, when you hold like the prograde, it doesn't work so well. So, okay, so here we are, just going barely above the horizon, and I am picking up speed, however I am losing thrust as well. Again, I do want to go as fast as I can. I'm going faster and higher, but I am losing thrust. So I think the rest of this is going to be done with engines. Look at the last little bit that we can out of the liquid fuel engines, and we'll see if we can use the rest of this to push us up out of the atmosphere. And based on how long this is taking, I don't think it's going to work. That seemed like quite a long burn. It seemed like quite a long burn for those rockets. It might be tricky. 62, 69, 70. Alright. It's time warp. Let's see. 974 meters a second. Let's just see. Yep, almost. Ah, look at that. Shucks. This almost had enough. Okay, now I'm thinking, again, I think it's a piloting thing. I think I could pilot this thing. Having said that, though, here I'm talking about like piloting this thing a little bit better and trying new things to get me into space. Really, I don't think you want any kind of craft, let alone a space plane, that you need to like fly in a very particular manner for it to work. I think you'd be more interested in a plane that works. You know, you follow a pretty standard profile, and it's just reliable and it works. I think it's pretty safe to say that's what people would prefer than something where you have to be as accurate as I'm having to be to get results. There we go. And let's see what the result was here. Yeah, definitely a suborbital. Alright. So, and then here we are back in the atmosphere, going quite fast. Let's go ahead and point to sucker prograde, take this off. And just see, yeah, I mean, it is really cool to be flying a plane this high up, though. Kind of just coasting. Okay, so this is going to be a 3-part series. Next episode, I will figure this out for sure. See exactly what I need. I thought more engines would solve it, and again, it may have, but I think it didn't solve it enough. Also, despite my best efforts, the thing isn't as stable as I would like. It just does not fly particularly well, and I really don't know exactly why that is. That's just kind of bizarre to me, that the thing flies not so great, even though, you know, by all accounts, it really should. The center of lift is kind of where it should be with regard to the center of mass. I think I have plenty of lifting surface, and I don't know. Really weird. Okay, Skyreach V10. Another failure, but we are continuing to learn. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying this like kind of mini series I'm doing here, where I am genuinely trying to figure out how to build a space plane. Again, I have done it before. I don't even remember how I did it and what it looked like. It probably looks similar to this, but worked. And this one does not work. I am not artificially creating tension here. I genuinely do not know how to fix this. So if you do, chime in, let me know. Space planes are a ton of fun, and a ton of fun to watch anyway. And I am excited about having one of my own, and I'm excited with the progress that I've made so far, yet still needs improvement. So, thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate it, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. See ya.